Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, in Fontus, some aliens Mayhem. We're on round 238. One of the conversations on Reddit recently just brought up something that I should probably have been doing the entire time, which is one of the things we've been struggling with is the logistics to transport water from the overseas territories to the SHQ. Right, we're right now stripping 72, almost 73,000 water to the SHQ just to dump it into the void, letting it disappear. That isn't a problem because we just don't need it and it's free collection of water, except for the logistics of transporting it. What they brought up is that we can go into zone inventory here, which is something I generally don't use, and we can tell it to block the pickup of water. Block sending water. Now, if we need this water later, we'll have to come back and turn this back on. But what this is going to do in this case is going to stop the 6.4k water being shipped to the SHQ, which over the sea is something like 640 logistics points. Right? That's non-trivial amount of logistics points. That's like a whole tank battalion coming across at once. So we can turn it off there. We can turn it off here.
Standing by for orders. Copy that. Copy that.
And so that's two of the zones. And we got a couple more zones over here that we can basically do the same thing. Again, shipping a bunch of water, 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 bringing up all the logistics to do other stuff.
Standing by. Roger.
And again, we're basically wasting all this water.
Roger.
So if we can just not have to ship it to save on the wastage of the logistics go with it, that would be good.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now, to do this is costing us 1 political power each, but we've got 500 political power, so that's not a concern.
Roger that. Standing by for orders. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay. So we'll see how that affects our logistics going forward. If that goes well, we can start doing some much more heavy shipping of equipment to these fronts. And it'd be fair if that goes well, we can integrate these guys as well. So that we'll see how that goes. I think that may change the balance of power. If that frees up a bunch more logistics, we can bring another battalion or two over here. We can get equipment over. We can get replacements over. We're at the point where we've got 5.1 thousand troops ready for deployment as reinforcements for existing units that are being delayed due to logistics. If that fixes logistics, we'll be golden. So let's cycle the turn. Let's see if that works. And yeah, I didn't look at the victory point at the start of this one. I did at the end of the last part. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can always go back to the last video. If you're watching live on Twitch, we are at the point in the game where we are winning. So in other games, I previously probably would have done a victory pact with someone to win at this point. This map, that isn't an option. No one wants to victory pact with us. But it may be an option, and we'll see if it is. Well, the solution is we just have to basically beat one person. Right, so if we can go defeat someone, we can probably get to the point where we're winning. And this is where the logistics is going to be useful, because it's these units here that are one of the places where we're struggling with reinforcements. But yeah, so we're fighting Becker. If we can completely defeat Becker, we'd be in a state where we would win. I believe. Oops, some of the octopuses dealing with themselves, that's nice. Here we go. Round 239. We killed 600 infantry at the cost of 900 infantry, probably mostly militia, 50 motorized, again, probably mostly militia, and 50 tanks. Again, probably militia, although the tanks might not be. We did have 50 light tanks in the front that may have been involved. Security breach, health emergency, okay. The commander of the 11th Grenadier Infantry has been killed. And the 12th. Okay, so we lost 2 leaders in quick succession there, which is not ideal. Okay, so prioritize reinforcement to the front units. So these guys back here. And I assume we didn't... that's something that I need to check to see if we lost the SSQs. Okay, so the HQ survived, the commanders did not. We could work a little bit on food. We're still going through ammo pretty quickly. We're still wasting 30,000 water, but now it's no longer shipping overseas, and yeah, that's much better. 33 surplus logistics, 55% surplus logistics. Nice green supply lines going out to the island over here. Yeah, I wish I knew that trick earlier. I will need to make use of that in future Oceania maps. And yeah, the whole unit has received its reinforcements. Do we attack here? I think the answer is yes. Let's take this attack. We were basically waiting for the tanks to reinforce, and they have now.
Mission completed.
Anyway, with that, we should be in real good stead for just attacking straight towards the port here. We do have these places cut off, so if we can take the port, their defensive position will fall apart. You're asking for a tax reduction. No.
Sir, yes, sir.
Very heavy rocket engines. Do I want that? That would give me the 4th I need in propulsion for, like, ICBMs. But we need atomic fusion missiles. There's over in fusion atomic here, which is behind fusion plant. I think we can slow roll that. I'm not too interested in that. We're hitting no there, then.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather have to do the hyper explosive ammo, which was one of the other options in that zone.
Understood.
Good old democracy here.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oof. Critical failure on one of those rolls. New commander. I apparently need some commanders. So nation, military.
Roger that.
And we'll pay the extra political power for
Roger
Merc.
that.
So we've got 2 good base skill people. Oh, you're terrible. You're decent, so you're gonna get an
Yes,
appointment.
sir.
And then choice between 2 terrible
Roger
people.
that.
We'll just hand the job out. And yeah, let's begin the attack towards the supply location here. Let's bring in the red company and the other professional troops. We'll leave the greens out of it for this attack. We're already running oversupply, over frontage. In fact, I'll leave That red, and we want that one. Let's attack from as many fronts as possible, if possible. There we go.
Going in. Mission successful.
Then we attack here. Take the green in here because we didn't release them the previous attack. The red because they're in all the hexes, so we get 3 hex approach. And then I think we'll bring a couple of the purple in just to get more numbers in. Like so. And attack.
Going in.
Oh yeah, it's really nice when your supply lines are working.
Move out.
Maybe didn't come with enough quantity here. We're still successful. We drove him back. But yeah, we'll attack, take over the port in the next turn. The rest of these guys will sort of hold the line here until we can bring up the reserves from the siege of Detmold. I suppose we'll look at the victory overview right now. So we are at 34.4 victory score. That was before the siege of Detmold. So that will jump a little bit with Detmold falling into our hands. They will fall and we will rise. Let's also recruit our replenishment. So we need 18 subunits for all the combat casualties. We lost 4 light armor over the end turn. Because we didn't have the light armor involved in that turn. We did lose 2 main tanks. 1 machine gun. 1 RPG. Okay. But yeah, I think the attack going here is now going much, much better now that we've got the supply situation sorted. The next stop is this front over here. I am going to go ahead and air recon.
Birds are in the sky.
Whiskey Tango. We did take a casualty in our tactical bomber squadron here doing the recon, but this has got us up to 966 recon. So now when the attack goes in, which is what we're about to carry out, this should be a very effective attack. Okay, so you, our artillery unit, can't come and join this attack, although it can, of course, do a range attack. So we'll get it pounding the square preparatory.
Fire when ready.
And there's some artillery on the other side, and apparently we're coming off worse in the exchange.
Yes, sir.
That was not a great showing from artillery. And yeah, there is a couple artillery pieces in here that did pretty well. Their 1 artillery piece did well. Ours got like 1 hit. Artillery might need a little bit more of a rework before it's going to become really good. And then we can attack this encirclement from all sides. We now have pretty good recon, so our guys should be pretty effective at finding targets.
Go, go, go!
That was not a particularly long attack. We destroyed 29 subunits for 30. So yeah, not the best of attacks. Although that is something we might be able to repeat over and over again, attriting their forces down. And we are doing damage to the port. If we do enough damage to the port, they're going to have issues with unloading supplies, which will make them also a lot less effective. Okay, push those guys out to the front. I'm thinking of raising another grenadier unit. You had enough logistics to deploy line infantry. Not enough to deploy the whole thing right there. Okay. Let's pop back over here. What I can do is I can raise it on our port and then ship over what can be deployed. Grenadier Infantry Brigade, okay. Raise formation. Start strategically moving them. Not going to deploy them right on the front line because the readiness gets tanked pretty heavily for this new unit coming in. Also, this new unit has no commander yet. That'll be what it gets the next turn. Yeah, so we were able to get the whole thing over there. Not all by one route, which was probably what was complaining the first time. And then I think we want another... Probably want to start swapping these guys over to specialist units. Got one unit here that's supposed to be grenadiers. So if we bring in some more, effectively more machine guns and a tank, it should help as well, the attack. Oops. Wanted to ship the newly raised unit over, not the militia I have guarding the port. Like so. Oh, and I got, did I do the... Don't think I queued up the replacement tactical bomb. One Thromper. There we go. Okay, we could still sue for peace, but I think now that I've got the logistics sorted out with that turning off of the border shipping, I think we're in much better straits. Oh, now we're still shipping this water as well, so we can call you up.
Yes, sir.
Tell you not to ship water either.
Yes, sir.
We'll play the unification card here.
Copy that.
And then we've got two new
Roger that.
brigades standing up, so we'll take two mercenaries, and we're also going to have a new zone, so we'll take a civilian
Roger that.
for the upcoming turn. Emergency drive. Get some money. Or efficiency drive, not emergency drive. And yeah, I think we'll cycle the turn here without sending the peace offer. I think we're less desperate for one at this point. But yeah, we've taken one port. If we overrun the next port, then we can just push down into the peninsula down here. This is going to be a slog because it's going to be through marsh. Although that, to be fair, is probably mutual. It's going to be terrible for both of us. And yeah, they go all the way down here. So all these are population centers we'd like to take over. And I suppose if we are going that warpath, let's try to get some spies embedded.
Aye, aye, sir. 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 Aye, aye, sir.
We might try to follow that up later with rebellions to disrupt their rear. We'll see about that. So yeah, that's off to a good start. We'll see, again, we were at 34.4 before taking that town. We just took that town. Let's see what the number changes after the end turn. Okay, that was a defeat. But that definitely could have been worse. And that was mostly exhausted units from previous fighting. That will begin to change as the reinforcements start to deploy on that frontage. We killed 300 infantry at the cost of 600. It's around 240. We have 8 decisions. We gained a new zone. Discovered automated turret. Discovered new tech Echo Tracer spy kit.
Affirmative.
That's a confirm. Zone decision.
Yes,
democracy.
Order acknowledged.
Democracy. Democracy.
Roger that. Yes,
Democracy. Appoint a governor. And all our people are absolutely terrible at that. I was hoping the civilian would be better. Let's see if we can pull a better person out of our rear. I suspect the answer is
Roger
no.
that. Roger that.
We were able to pull a better one out for the governorship. That civilian is a little bit better with cap 2, some streetwise, some improv.
Wilco.
Okie dokie.
Yes, sir.
And we did have some shipping issues. Not everything was delivered. To be fair, one of the things that wasn't delivered was a tank. So, It wasn't a little amount of shipping, it was a lot of shipping that we were trying to do. I should change the 17th to have a slightly different color, recognizing it's right on top of another unit of the same rough color. Yeah, that'll be a little bit better. Yeah, still a little bit too much of the line garrisoned with militia, because we have too many of the professional troops over here on the assault. Although that will make this assault go real well. Time to take the city, and more importantly, the port.
Going in.
Not successful yet at the attack.
Port mission.
Lost 24 subunits to 13 destroyed.
Move out.
This is attacking the surrounding area to get more vectors for the attack going in on future turns. No luck. Although, better combat exchange ratio. We lost 3 subunits to 22 destroyed. I still have a couple units that could go in, but didn't get involved in the previous attacks. But we're gonna call it there. I don't think we got enough. Although we could open the pocket a little bit wider, or the gap between the two lines a little bit wider attacking here, which we'll do.
Mission successful.
But yeah, casualties, casualties, casualties. We've got the manpower to handle this, so this isn't a concern. Early in the game, when we're having more logistical issues, getting the replacements back to the SHQ, that would be a problem, but here I don't think it's too much of a problem. And then over here, I don't think we've had full reinforcement. I think this is where the reinforcements didn't quite completely arrive. Yeah, give it another turn for the reinforcements to arrive and the new units to ready up.
Bombs away! Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
And yeah, suppose I should check up my construction. Presumably that's been either completed or still ongoing. Yeah, ports are continuing. That'll help with shipping. Now, we in theory don't need that help, but it'll still be good to get that shipping done. The other thing I should build up is obviously we're going through bullets a bit fast. Where did I put the bullet manufacturing? In the capital. Okay. Let's go ahead and upgrade you. Industry, ammunition factory. This is going to be expensive to build. We do have the metal on hand to build it, so that's less of a concern. And it's going to like quadruple its output.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Effectively slowing the burn on how quickly we're going through what's left of our ammo. You could use more workers. Yeah.
Understood.
Or actually ship more workers than you need. That's still fine. You could even do with more civilian populations. Let's ship the rest as pops.
Understood.
That'll discourage them leaving the government jobs so badly. You're looking fine for petrol. You're looking fine for a couple turns. You're getting a bit close. Should probably do it next turn. Oh, and we should check the victory point status. How much did we go up? Not by much. We did go up by some. We went up by 0.7 from taking that port. So the port definitely was worth score, probably due to population. And of course that's coming at the expense of Becker.
Copy that.
Still no dice unifying with you. We could use the civil delegations there to make that easier.
Yes, sir.
In the future.
Yes, sir.
Oh, another thing I could do... Got 2 brigades over here. The 7th and the 8th that are running just light infantry. Let's upgrade these units to grenadiers. Okay. And then, probably when the ongoing current construction completes, the ammunition factory, we should transition back to more metal soil filtration. Yeah, it is pretty terrible on this map. But if I get more metal soil filtration and more heavy industry... City was the heavy industry, and was that the capital again? That was probably the capital again. No, there's the high tech. I might have built the heavy industry in one of the other cities. I've been just missing it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, build up the heavy industry. That way, when we do the transition to Battle Dress, we can do that a bit more en masse.
Roger that. Roger that. Roger that. Roger that.
Because that's one way to improve the manpower efficiency of our army, is to swap over to Belarus. Oh, that was unexpected. They've successfully landed. I was not expecting them to open up new beachheads. I didn't see which major that was. We are technically at war with 2 majors. That was not Becker by the looks of it. Because it's Becker going now. So this is that Nebel? Or is that Totolin? Round 241, we killed 1,000 infantry at the cost of 600 of our own. We got 8 decisions here. This is Nebel, okay. Looks like mostly tanks. That's going to struggle in the long run against us because our Panzer Scares are reasonably effective.
Requesting backup.
Okay, let's see if we can take this port, and then we'll try to negotiate peace with Becker so we can focus on getting the Nebel fronts thrown back into the sea. And no dice.
We need more firepower, sir.
19 subunits to 18 subunits. So we're still coming off slightly better, but definitely the timetable I'm putting on this assault is maybe too aggressive. That's kind of what's eating at us.
Going in.
Easy.
All clear, sir. Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Birds are in the sky.
Okay. Do I think I have enough firepower to get this beachhead destroyed? Enough to take a swing at least. No. It might have been cost effective. 1843. No, it definitely wasn't even cost effective. Okay.
Copy that.
Yep, no dice on the negotiated peace either.
Roger that. Roger that. Wilco. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Confirming orders. Yes, sir. Wilco. Copy that.
Okay. Our attempts to attack the Becker here have definitely started to stall out, which is not good, because apparently I've now got new landings to deal with. Yeah, not good. The artillery here that I was hoping to be a little bit more useful is definitely not proving to be more useful. Let's take one more ranged attack with it. The problem here is that it can't attack in the marsh. So it's only joining in when we do range attacks like this. Well, this isn't too bad. We,
Yes, sir.
they must have pulled the artillery out. Oh no, the artillery did return fire. It just didn't get lucky this time with the return fire. We managed to destroy one sub-unit with the artillery. Could be better. Definitely be better. Okay, that we're able to get that brigade across. Okay. And then we should try, I think, negotiating something with Nebel. Because even once we throw them back into the sea, we're probably going to want peace with them again. Because we don't want to go landing their continent. Let's overture. Yeah, so it's going to be pure bribery. Bribery is the way forward.
Copy that.
Okay, so we're at the point where we can now offer peace to both of them. Whether they'll accept or not is a different problem. How did the construction go? Everything proceeded at speed. Good. Some of the ports should finish over the next couple turns. And then we're going to need 2 new commander cards for the new brigades we're standing up.
Roger that. Roger that.
Did I do the unification offer this turn? No. Let's roll
Copy that.
We failed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll still be able to take this port. At this point, we've got it surrounded from all sides. This one is, I suppose, actually the reason why we're failing again is it's a marsh. Marshes are not the nicest places to attack. That's grassy plains. We'll see how many forces they bring in. If it's just those armored vehicles, I think we should be able to deal with them. Same thing over here. If it's just the infantry, we've actually had... Historically, we've had more problems with infantry than we have with armored vehicles. Yeah. Tech-wise... Well, I suppose that might be because we've got Panzer Scares, which are dedicated to tank weapons. Tech-wise, tempted to wait until we get heavy battle rest before we redesign the infantry. It will be discoverable after we finish industrial robotization, which we're working on. Working on atomic missile. I suppose that would be one way to solve getting into some of these zones, is hit it with the missile. We'd probably want to start radioactive mining if we're going to do that. Laser rifles is also going to be tempting, so we can get the laser guns. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Let's see if we can contain these beachheads from Nebel. Oh, they bring in troops. Although they didn't really attack. Just a bunch of fluctuation in the troop count. To be fair, those tanks probably need to be upgraded. I think they're still running steel plate. They'd probably be better off with polymer. We killed 500 infantry, 10 tanks at the cost of 1,600 infantry, 30 motorized, 30 tanks. We have 6 decisions awaiting us on round 242. Back to the Military Research Council has quit due to old age. Okay, let's see if we get this port collapsed.
Advancing.
Yes.
Easy.
49 subunits destroyed at the cost of 16 of ours.
Copy that.
Still no peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Roger.
Yes, sir. Yes. Roger that.
Okay. What is the odds that we can throw them back into the sea right now? Unlikely. They brought in more infantry, they brought in more tanks. I think the situation is likely they're not able to break out, but us breaking in and crushing that pocket right now is unlikely. As far as reinforcements go, or as far as deployments go, push you up there. Gonna have to tar pit you. I don't think we're in a position to counterattack right now. Although maybe next turn we'll see what how the tanks are feeling. Yeah, I don't think the militia is going to be the best of attackers here. And the rest need more turns to form up. We haven't even received all our replacements here. Other than maybe range attacking the fortification. Will do.
Fire when ready. Yes, sir.
One reason to attack the location here is we can do damage to the port. If we do enough damage to the port will stop supplying the units in the pocket
Bombs away!
adequately.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Okay, let's... I'm not really in a good position to handle Nebel and Becker right now. So, as much as I would rather throw the Nebel landings back into the sea over continuing to fight Becker, we will... If I got a proposed peace, and I might have only had the one, apparently. Yeah, I only had the one. Okay, we'll try to buff the opinion with them with a open contact instead.
Copy that. Copy that.
Yeah, well, at least we get a buff with that. You could do with more civilians. We are going to want to expand your industry because I've got the heavy industry there. So we'll dump the civilians in here.
Understood.
How's the construction going? Port should finish up next turn. Ammo factory should be done next turn. The other port should be done in 2, and then we can redirect metal to equipping to our troops if we need it. Okay, so I'm going to grab these units as well. I'm going to ship these guys up to deal with try to deal with the guys over there. Just deploying brand new units every time we need to deal with a firefight. Let's pull out some of the old guys. Is that the 5th? Yes, that was the 5th. So let's grab the 5th. It's SHQ, or OHQ, which was here. Ship you over as well. And then I think those were old Panzer scares. which is the RPG unit. We still have 500 of those deployed, otherwise they're mostly out of circulation. Same thing with the Whirlwind 3s. We still have 1,000 of the old ones out and about. Can we get those upgraded?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So yeah, we're probably due for an upgrade on the machine guns. We're probably due for an upgrade on the RPGs. Question is, do I upgrade them now, or do we hold off for a bit? The other one to upgrade is also the machine, or the infantry. We do have a battle dress, so we could jump from heavy combat armor to battle dress. Okay, let's cycle the turn. We'll see how the situation evolves over the end turn, and we will take a part break as soon as this end turn ends. Oh, those landing sites. More and more troops roll in. Okay, they managed to break in and get the armored car out. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up for you tomorrow. The war continues until we can negotiate a peace, and apparently we're not doing super hot. We lost another 2,200 infantry over that end turn. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to take a short break to get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea, and then we'll be back to pick up where we left off here, which is going to be round 243, where we have 10 decisions. So until next time, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.